Racing is fast and exciting at the picturesque Woodbine and Woodbine Mohawk Park racetracks in Ontario, Canada. Woodbine Standardbred, home of the Pepsi North America Cup, a summer classic.
Pebble Beach in Iran.
And Woodbine Thoroughbred, home of the historic King's Plate.
But the mighty filly has devastated them.
Full fields, exotic wagers, iconic events. Play Woodbine Thoroughbred and Woodbine Standardbred today at your favorite wagering location.
Horse racing fans, Los Alamitos Racecourse continues its celebration of 10 years of daytime thoroughbred racing with an action-packed winter session of racing in beautiful Orange County. Racing will be held Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays through December 17th. First post will be 12:30 p.m. Pacific. Plenty of stakes action is in store this season, led by the running of the Los Alamitos Futurity on Saturday with points on the line for next year's Kentucky Derby, plus the King Glorious on closing day, Sunday, December 17th. And horse players, our live money on-track handicapping contest is back on Saturday. You could win a berth to the 2024 NHC in Las Vegas. For contest format and more, visit losalamitos.com. And remember that on Saturdays during our winter meet, we'll add $10,000 to the Pick Six pool if there's not a carryover. That's more money for our Pick Six players to win on Saturday afternoons. Daytime racing is back at Los Alamitos. And remember, now with $10,000 added to the Pick Six pool on Saturdays if there's not a carryover. Don't miss the Los Alamitos Winter Thoroughbred Meet.
Want to bet your favorite horse but can't make it to the racebook? South Point Casino's Racebook has the answer. Come in and sign up for the Nevada Racebook mobile app. For just a $50 minimum deposit, you'll have the racebook right at your fingertips, no matter where you are in Nevada. It's convenient, fun, and easy to use. When you do have time to visit, South Point Casino is the perfect place to be. Our racebook is completely separate from the sportsbook and totally dedicated to the horse player. With 52 overhead TVs, free Wi-Fi, and cocktail service. Bring your tablet or smartphone and plug into the USB ports to look up your favorite handicapping website without draining your battery. Want to wager from your seat? No problem with our IPTs. Just sign up, make a deposit, and you're off to the races. Plus, you'll earn points for dining, hotel, movies, entertainment, and the spa just by using the club card when wagering. Whether you want to come in or play from the comfort of your home, South Point Casino's Racebook has you covered.
Celebrating over 2 decades of consecutive broadcasts on the great game of horse racing in Las Vegas, the Race Day Las Vegas show thanks all of our listeners and sponsors for your appreciated support.
The following is a Race Day Las Vegas presentation in association with Siraco Productions Limited on the Race Day Las Vegas Radio Network.
Live from the gaming capital of the world, time for Race Day Las Vegas, covering the sport of kings with a Las Vegas perspective. Now to the race desk with your host, Ralph Siraco.
From the backstretch to the turf club, at the racebooks and on the internet, to all horse players around the world, a good morning. All righty, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Race Day Las Vegas radio program for this almost Friday, Thursday. It is Thursday, the 14th day of December, 2023. Wow. Just 11 days till Christmas. Man, oh, man. All right, well, it's your date, of course, is 1-2-1-4-2023. That's the date. We welcome you to the show. We come to you live and direct from the South Point Studios at the South Point Hotel Casino here in Las Vegas on the fabulous Strip. And we continue with the National Finals Rodeo. It's here. It's been here all for the past 5-6 days, and it's going to be here until Sunday. Place is hopping early in the morning, late at night, and everything in between with a lot of cowboys, cowgirls, and a lot of people just having fun. Long-necked beers and Wrangler jeans and 10-gallon hats. That's for sure. We welcome, of course, the Cowboys to Las Vegas. It really makes it happen at this time of the year, especially with the holidays coming up as well. We do have a special holiday programming that we want to remind you all about, and we'll get to that a little bit later on. But there'll be some shows that will be switching during Christmas week and through New Year's because, as you know, the horse racing people in horse racing and the big race days work when everybody else is off. So we'll be doing some shows on some days that we're not normally here. Our schedule, of course, here is Wednesday through Sunday, but we'll be shifting it around right around Christmas and again for New Year's. But we'll keep you posted on that. We'll get that to you a little bit later on. We'll certainly tell you about that and keep reminding you as well. We're here at the South Point Studios.tv and more importantly at YouTube. Go to South Point TV, go to YouTube, the page there, and don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe. It is free, FREE free. You can subscribe and you'll be all set to watch us video as well as audio. Of course, we're still on our entire audio streaming and, of course, our audio broadcasting platforms like our local radio station here in town through the studios and over the airwaves of Sports Talk 1400 AM, 107.1 FM. And, of course, our websites, racedaylasvegas.com, .vegas.world, .global. Your iPhone, your Android, get the KSHP app, and you can get your iPhone, Android, put it on there, and you can listen to us wherever you're going with your device. We used to call them cell phones. Now they're devices. You can't live without them. And, of course, anywhere you get your podcasting as well. So, however, wherever, whenever, welcome to the Race Day Show for this almost Friday, Thursday. On today's show, we'll have, of course, Jonathan Hardoon back with us. Nice pick there, Jonathan, yesterday. One selection on our show yesterday. The horse came in and paid $14.40, courtesy of Jonathan out at Tampa Bay. We'll get more from him today, as well as John Lindo stopping by. I got Rich Yang stopping by because there's a Thursday night football game. We get into week 15 of the NFL season. And Richie, of course, is our guy that not only picks horsehide, but he picks pigskins as well. So we'll get his thoughts on tonight's game. It features our Las Vegas Raiders, by the way, and the Los Angeles Chargers. That ought to be a good one. We'll wait and see how he shakes that out. And, of course, we'll have not only John Lindo, but I'm going to give Jerry Jacquez a little bit more time at the end of the show because I want to get him to explain to you his background in racing, how he got started with the Jerry J's Power Pages, and his strategies, etc., for his product. We got the chance to do that on the first Wednesday that we were here with Jonathan Hardoon and John Lindo. We didn't get a chance to do it with Rich Yang, but we did do it several days afterwards with Richie. And now we'd like to get Jerry on as well to introduce himself really to you and the players and the listeners out there. So that's what we got on tap. We also have the Woodbine Clocker Report, Ernie Perry's Clocker Report for Woodbine. Remember, Woodbine ends, as does Los Alamitos, on Sunday. Their race meets will come to an end. And, of course, we'll be looking ahead to this weekend. That's for sure. As far as the temperatures around town, hey, look, it's still cold out here. You know, we're hovering around freezing overnight. And it's about 38 degrees out there right now. But I got to tell you right now, there's a warming trend starting to move through. For example, today in Las Vegas, we're going to top off at 62 degrees. So that's good stuff. And around the country, L.A., 75. You got Miami at 75. New York City at 42. So that's not bad with only, 10, 11 days to go till Christmas. That's for sure. Now, as far as the weather patterns are concerned, everything else is clear up and down the West Coast. The Gulf Coast and the East Coast, just a little bit of weather over Texas, Oklahoma, and Nebraska, and a little bit at the tip of Texas and the Gulf area. But it won't affect any of the racetracks, shouldn't affect any of the racetracks on our racing menu today. All right? The news. I'm going to get into this with John Lindo a bit later on because John, of course, is based in Southern California. But there was a gentleman named John Scheer. John Scheer was a former jockey who worked at Santa Anita in various capacities over 60 years. John's been there over 60 years. He retired a couple of years ago. He was also the paddock captain when he was well into his 90s. But he passed away yesterday of natural causes at a rehabilitation facility in Arcadia, California. He was absolutely a legend at Santa Anita. One of the great souls, one of the great people, one of the really nice guys in racing. So our thoughts and prayers go out to John and his family today. and certainly condolences and sympathies to his family and all of his friends as well. We'll talk a little bit more about that when we get John Lindo on a little bit later on. Hey, we got a couple of horses that are recovering from surgery. Remember that Echo Zulu, the 2021 champion Echo Zulu, and Buzz, a winner as well. They both were injured on the racetrack, and they report that they're doing fine. They're just recovering from their surgeries of their injuries. So that's good news there. And of course, Golden Gate that just ended over the weekend. They're going to have one more meet at Golden Gate. It's going to end in June, but they are taking drastic cuts at Golden Gate. This upcoming winter-spring meeting at Golden Gate, they're going to cut the purses as much as 25% as they kind of lower the curtain on Golden Gate in Northern California. Just some of the news up there. Don't forget, subscribe, YouTube, get to the site, go to YouTube, then go to South Point TV. You get on that page, subscribe today. We'll be happy for it, okay? Jonathan Ardoon, Rich Ang, and John Lindo and Jerry Jackowitz, your Woodbine picks yet to come. So before we get any further along, let's take our first break. And when we come back, we'll give you your racing menu and on with Jonathan Hardoon. Don't go away. It's your almost Thursday, Race Day Las Vegas radio program, live from the South Point studios here in fabulous Las Vegas. We'll be right back.
Want to bet your favorite horse but can't make it to the race book? South Point Casino's Racebook has the answer. Come in and sign up for the Nevada Racebook mobile app. For just a $50 minimum deposit, you'll have the Racebook right at your fingertips, no matter where you are in Nevada. It's convenient, fun, and easy to use. When you do have time to visit, South Point Casino is the perfect place to be. Our Racebook is completely separate from the Sportsbook and totally dedicated to the horse player. With 52 overhead TVs, free Wi-Fi, and cocktail service. Bring your tablet or smartphone and plug into the USB ports to look up your favorite handicapping website without draining your battery. Want to wager from your seat? No problem with our IPTs. Just sign up, make a deposit, and you're off to the races. Plus, you'll earn points for dining, hotel, movies, entertainment, and the spa just by using the club card when wagering. Whether you want to come in or play from the comfort of your home, South Point Casino's Racebook has you covered.
The racing is fast and exciting at the picturesque Woodbine and Woodbine Mohawk Park racetracks in Ontario, Canada. Woodbine Standardbred, home of the Pepsi North America Cup, a summer classic.
Pebble Beach in Iran.
And Woodbine Thoroughbred, home of the historic King's Plate.
But the mighty filly has devastated them.
Full fields, exotic wagers, iconic events. Play Woodbine Thoroughbred and Woodbine Standardbred today at your favorite wagering location.
Horse racing fans, Los Alamitos Racecourse continues its celebration of 10 years of daytime thoroughbred racing with an action-packed winter session of racing in beautiful Orange County. Racing will be held Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays through December 17th. First post will be 12:30 p.m. Pacific. Plenty of stakes action is in store this season, led by the running of the Los Alamitos Futurity on Saturday with points on the line for next year's Kentucky Derby, plus the King Glorious on closing day, Sunday, December 17th. And horse players, our live money on-track handicapping contest is back on Saturday. You could win a berth to the 2024 NHC in Las Vegas. For contest format and more, visit losalamitos.com. And remember that on Saturdays during our winter meet, we'll add $10,000 to the Pick Six pool if there's not a carryover. That's more money for our Pick Six players to win on Saturday afternoons. Daytime racing is back at Los Alamitos. And remember, now with $10,000 added to the Pick Six pool on Saturdays if there's not a carryover. Don't miss the Los Alamitos Winter Thoroughbred Meet.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas for this Thursday Race Day show. Now, I was telling you right at the top of the show that we're going to have changing a little bit of our broadcast schedule as we move through the holiday week of Christmas to New Year's. Here's how it's going to shake out. And in ensuing days, next week, we will post a graphic on, for those of you watching here on the streaming at South Point TV. We'll post a graphic of those days. But here's how it's going to work out. We're in the same schedule for the rest of this week. Tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday, business as usual. Next week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the 20th, 21st, 22nd, and 23rd will be at our usual start times at 7 a.m. Sunday, Christmas Eve, the 24th, we will have no shows, okay? There will be no shows here on Christmas Eve, Sunday. And obviously, we won't be here on Christmas Day, Monday. Now, you and I and everybody else knows is as soon as the presents are opened, it's time to get back to business and enjoy the holiday going through New Year's. And so the Christmas present that most horse players open the day after is Santa Anita. Santa Anita will open on Tuesday, the 26th, and we'll have a special Tuesday Race Day Las Vegas radio program here on the 26th at our usual start time of 7 a.m. And then we will run 7 straight days. We're going to run Tuesday, the 26th, then our usual broadcast days of Wednesday, the 27th, Thursday, the 28th, Friday, the 29th, Saturday, the 30th, and Sunday, New Year's Eve, the 31st. And we will be back again on another special Monday, New Year's Day race day show on the very first of the new year. After that, our schedule will go back to normal. But because we'll be racing, we'll be having our show and racing will be 7 days straight from the day after Christmas till New Year's Day. We'll take the Tuesday and the Wednesday off. We won't have a show on Wednesday, the third day of the new year. We'll come back on Thursday, and then our racing schedule will be, as usual, Wednesday through Sunday thereafter in the new year. Now, I know it's a little bit throwing a lot at you, and you might have not caught everything, but we'll continue to tell you this throughout the next week, and we'll have a graphic on it as well. Now, time to go to our racing menu for today. And I want to remind you that the first post times we broadcast on this racing menu each and every day reflect that of the Pacific time zone. So if you're here listening in Las Vegas, if you're here at the South Point, right here behind us in the racebook, these will be the first post times that roll out in our racebooks today. If you're listening anywhere else on the expanding platforms that we have from around the world, remember, there's a lot of people listening to us in another time zone. So remember to adjust the first post times that you hear to the Pacific time zone, no matter where you're at. This way you won't miss anything, okay? I miss Mom and Dad. Okay, here we go. We begin with Gulfstream Park. Gulfstream Park has 9 races today. Their Pick 6 jackpot today at Gulfstream Park, their Rainbow Pick 6 jackpot, $129,564. And a first post time at Gulfstream Park today for 9 races is at 9:10. 9:10 first post at Gulfstream. Mahoning Valley is next. Mahoning Valley Racecourse has 8 races. Their first post time is 9:45 at Mahoning Valley. Following that, you've got Aqueduct, the Big A in New York. Let's see what's going on at Aqueduct. Punch it up here. Scratches and changes, but no track conditions yet. We're assuming that everything is going to be fine at Aqueduct. Their first post time at the Big A today for 8 races is at 9:50 at Aqueduct today. Following that, the Fairgrounds in New Orleans. Fairgrounds, 11 races today at Fairgrounds, mostly full fields there, too. They've got a regular Pick 6 carryover. There's not a jackpot, a regular Pick 6 carryover of $10,955. Their first post time is 10:45 at Fairgrounds. Then we go north of the border at Woodbine. North of the border, Woodbine, we've got a carryover in the Super High 5 jackpot there. Woodbine Super High 5 jackpot is at $97,730. Okay, $97,730 in the Woodbine Super High 5 jackpot carryover. They have 8 races. Their first post time is 1:40. Turfway Park, 9 races. Boy, I got to tell you, they still have full fields there at Turfway. I'm telling you, they got a lot of horses there, and they're filling up the entry box. That's for sure. Now, Turfway Park has a Super High 5 carryover, just a regular Super High 5 carryover, $3,606. Their first post time for 9 races, 2:55 this afternoon. Then we go to Penn National, as we call it, Penn Nat. Penn National has 7 races. Their first post time is 3 p.m. Delta Downs in the Bayou, 8 races there. First post time 3:05. And then we have Charlestown Races. Charlestown Races has a Pick 6 jackpot carryover of $5,978. 8 races. First post time at Charlestown is 4 p.m. And then we wrap it up again with Remington Park. Remington Park has 9 races. Their first post time is 5:05. And that's your racing menu for today. All right, it's time to bring in Jonathan Hardoon. Good morning, Jonathan.
Good morning, Ralph. How are you?
I'm doing fine, my man. Nice pick yesterday at Tampa Bay. They were coming at him at the end, but he got the first run in mid-stretch and held off the other horses to get the victory at $14.40, I believe, right?
Yeah, that was a nice price, and the horse ran well, and we got one home. That's what counts.
Not even a question about that. Now we have racing today, of course, at Aqueduct and Gulfstream. What product? How many sheets do you have today?
Well, we only have Gulfstream and Aqueduct. Tomorrow we go to the 4 tracks when Los Sal and Oaklawn open. So tomorrow we'll have all 4 up, and I guess over the weekend as well. But for today, we have Gulfstream at Aqueduct. By the way, the weather at Aqueduct is beautiful. It's in the 30s, but it's a beautiful day. No precipitation, no rain, no snow. Just a cold day, and I'm sure they'll get it in safe and sound.
Well, we were taking a look at the standings there at Aqueduct because, we get the updated jockey standings from John Lindo in Southern California. And when he does his sheet at Gulfstream, he'll have one a little bit later on for Gulfstream. But right now at Aqueduct, your leading jockey is Manny Franco with 27 wins. Kendrick Carmouche second at 18. Luis Rivera Jr. is having a good meet. He's got 16 wins. And, of course, Chad Brown is the leading trainer. 14 wins, Linda Rice right behind him with 12, and then Rudy Rodriguez with 11. But I guess all the attention right now is on Linda Rice to see if she can break that single-season record, right?
Yeah, she's about 6 behind, and there's no question she's going to do it. The only question is when. I mean, even today she's loaded. She's dropping horses. She did it at Saratoga to tie Chad Brown for the training title. The last couple of days she dropped everything, just to get the title, and she did. And listen, it's quite a feat, and it's very important to her. She's had an unbelievable year, and she's been on an unbelievable run.
So you say that she is probably maneuvering some horses that she would maybe put in another race of a higher quality or at least a higher claiming than she would right now, but she's doing it to gain that victory title?
Yeah, well, she owns a lot of these horses besides, in partnership with other owners, but I'm sure they let her do whatever she wants. A lot of these horses are dropping in for in claiming prices, but it's a claiming game, so she'll go right back in and claim something else if they take these horses from her, and that's her strategy, and it seems to be working.
All right. Well, we know that they're trucking along at Aqueduct, and I think they take a week off before Christmas, do they not?
They do. They come back, I think, a day or two before New Year's. I think they're closed maybe from the 23rd to the 28th, something like that, and then they resume right before New Year's, and they go through New Year's.
Jonathan, it's early in the championship meeting over at Gulfstream Park. Do you have any thoughts, any assessments of what's going on there right now?
Well, horses are starting to ship in. The fields are starting to grow in size, which is important. You have horses coming from Kentucky, from New York, from a lot of places. I hope their inventory stays up. At least grass racing is back. People seem to like it. Their handle is a lot higher when they have grass racing as opposed to when they only run on Tapeta. The problem for them is horses that usually may have shipped there in the past are staying at Oaklawn or going to Oaklawn because their purse structure is out of this world. I mean, they run for a lot of money there, and unless you care about turf racing, you're probably going to go to Oaklawn. Oaklawn has no turf course, but if you don't have turf horses, I guess that's the place to be.
Yeah, no question about that. And Oaklawn Park does have a good series of 3-year-old races for 3-year-olds on the road to the Kentucky Derby, 3 specifically races that will have points for the Kentucky Derby, as well as Gulfstream Park. So we're really going to pick it up after the first of the year. As soon as it hits midnight, all these precocious 3-year-olds become the center of attention in the 3-year-old division, that's for sure. And everybody's thinking and dreaming about the Derby, and that's always good.
Everyone gets Derby fever, and you're entitled to get it if you have a horse that that even has half a chance to go there. It's once in a lifetime, and you live out your dream, and hopefully you get far.
All right, well, Jonathan, you did good job for us yesterday at Tampa Bay, but since you do not have a Tampa Bay sheet today, I'm assuming that we're going to get a couple of nice horses for you from Gulfstream and maybe Aqueduct.
Yes, one of our two radio plays, Ralph, is going to come in the third race today at Aqueduct, and I like the number one horse in here, Concerti. This is a 2-year-old filly from the Joe Sharp barn. She ran exceptionally well first time out at Saratoga. Then they threw on a stake race. She didn't run well, but now she's been freshened up. She draws the rail. Dylan Davis rides. She's listed at 4-1 in the morning line. I like number one, Concerti, to win today's third race out at Aqueduct.
All right, third race at Aqueduct, number one, Concerti. Dylan Davis aboard, 4-1 on the morning line. Third race, the one horse at the Big A. And we do not have any of the scratchy sets, so let's hope this horse stays in the field. Let's go next, where? Gulfstream?
Gulfstream, and look at race number 8, a mile on the turf. And I like the number 8 horse in here, Ruse. Ruse is a 5-year-old gelding from the Timothy Hills barn. Rider switch today. This horse has been at Aqueduct, now ships to Gulfstream. Jersey Joe Bravo, who spent the last couple of years in Southern California, has moved his tack back to the East Coast, and he'll be riding at Gulfstream this whole winter. And he rides his horse. The horse is listed at 6-1 on the morning line. I like number 8, Ruse, to win today's 8th race out at Gulfstream.
All right, Gulfstream Park, 8th race, number 8, Ruse, easy to remember, 8th race, the 8. This is at a mile on the turf. Joey, Jersey Joe Bravo, back in southern Florida, I should say. I'm confused with these guys. 8th race, number 8, Joey Bravo there in Gulfstream. That is in the 8th race, 6-1 on the morning line. Jonathan, full sheets again today at Aqueduct and Gulfstream. We're going to get it.
They can go to the website at jonhardon.com.
All right, Jonathan. Thanks so much. And we'll see you tomorrow and talk about some more winners. How about that?
Thanks, Ralphie. Stay safe and be well.
All right. You got it, my man. And when we come back, we've got Rich Eng standing by. No, he doesn't have a pick in horses today, but we'll tap him on seeing whether he thinks the Raiders, our local team, the Las Vegas Raiders, can actually beat the Los Angeles Chargers tonight on your Thursday night NFL game. More Race Day coming up next. Don't go away. And subscribe at YouTube. YouTube, subscribe. Hit that clicker.
Born from the tragedy of 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation is committed to helping our nation's heroes and their families in their darkest hours. When a first responder or veteran doesn't return home and leaves behind a young family, Tunnel to Towers supports them. The foundation pays off their mortgages and lifts their financial burdens through their Gold Star Family Home Program and Fallen First Responder Home Program. Through their Smart Home Program, catastrophically injured veterans and first responders regain their independence with a mortgage-free home, specially adapted to meet their unique physical needs. Tunnel to Towers also provides housing assistance and services to our nation's homeless veterans through their Homeless Veteran Program. They are helping more than 2,000 in 2023 because no veteran should be living on the streets of the country they signed up to protect. Join Tunnel to Towers on its mission to do good and never forget 9/11 or the sacrifices made by our nation's heroes. Donate $11 a month at T2T.org. That's T2T.org.
The racing is fast and exciting at the picturesque Woodbine and Woodbine Mohawk Park racetracks in Ontario, Canada. Woodbine Standardbred, home of the Pepsi North America Cup, a summer classic.
Pebble Beach in Iran.
And Woodbine Thoroughbred, home of the historic King's Plate.
But the mighty filly has devastated them.
Full fields, exotic wagers, iconic events. Play Woodbine Thoroughbred and Woodbine Standardbred today at your favorite wagering location.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas for this Thursday racing program. And before we get to Rich Eng, we're going to get you Ernie Perry's Clocker Report at Woodbine. Remember, Woodbine wraps up their long racing season of thoroughbred racing north of the border in Canada on Sunday. So let's go to Ernie Perry's pick. He only has one today. It comes in the second race. Now, remember, they have a late post time at Woodbine of 1:40 today. 1:40 is the first post at Woodbine today. And in the second race, he likes number 5, Gavel Girl. Now, Gavel Girl, 15-1 on the morning line. Oh, boy. He said he's there for Mike DiPaolo, worked on December 7th in 48.60. He said this filly is dropping in price and can show some speed and will try to wire the field. So let's hope that this horse, Galville Girl, with that drop, can take him all the way. Second race, the 5 Galville Girl, is Ernie Perry's Clocker report today for Woodbine. All right, now it's time to bring in Rich Eng. Richie, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Ralphie.
Well,
I like your hat.
Yeah. Well, it's National Finals Rodeo Day. A week, that's for sure. Actually, a 10-day run in the National Finals Rodeo here. And the place is just hopping. Everybody's a cowboy at this time of the year. Just like on St. Patrick's Day, everybody is Irish. For the 10 days of the National Finals Rodeo, everybody's a cowboy in this town. And it's a great feeling, too, especially at this time of the year with all of the excitement with the Cowboy Christmas they got going, with the shopping going on and all that. It's really a good time to be here in Las Vegas. And, by the way, tonight we got our Las Vegas Raiders playing the L.A. Chargers in a divisional game. But I got to be a little bit cautious about this. I want to get your ideas first and your selection in tonight's game.
Well, I was in Los Angeles over the weekend. I went to the Chargers game against Denver and saw Justin Herbert get hurt. He broke his right index finger, and they played the backup quarterback, Easton Stick. Now, if any of your listeners know where he played college football, I'll buy you a Starbucks coffee because he's as obscure a backup as you're going to find. But he played 2/3 of the game. Denver won 24-7. The Chargers played uninspired football, Ralph, and quite frankly, at SoFi, it was about 70% Denver Bronco fans in the stadium. But as far as coming into this week, at least the Chargers have a week to try to game plan for Easton Stick and what he likes to do. However, also read that Keenan Allen is doubtful for the game. He's their best receiver, so Chargers are really up against it. Of course, the Raiders, I didn't get a chance to see the Raiders game. Maybe you did, Ralph, but losing 3-0 is pretty hard to do in the National Football League. But Aiden O'Connell's going to play again, but he's got on a short leash. Jimmy Garoppolo is probably may see some action if he can't generate some points. So the way I look at the game, Ralph, the Raiders are a 3-point favorite. The total is very low at 34.5. If I'm going to bet a side, I got to bet the Raiders at the -3 because I have no confidence in Easton Stick generating offense for the Chargers. And the total, again, I would probably bet the under at 34.5 or pass because I have a difficult time seeing these two quarterbacks generate 5 touchdowns in a 60-minute football game.
Well, Richie, here's the thing. First of all, did they make a decision, the Raiders, on who's actually going to take the snap tonight? I know they were kind of contemplating bringing Garoppolo back.
Well, from what I read this morning, Ralph, is that Aiden O'Connell will start. But like I say, he's on a short leash, and Antonio Pierce will have no reservation about putting Jimmy Garoppolo in. I guess he was criticized on Sunday for not putting Garoppolo in at some point in that second half when it looked like the Raiders were, not moving the football and they generated 0 points. And, O'Connell against Easton Stick, it's not a very inspiring quarterback duel. But Jimmy G, if he comes into the game, could provide an interesting spark for the Raider offense.
Now, the other thing is we are in Week 15. Now, you got 3 more games left for these teams. Tonight on the 15th week and then 16th and 17th week. And we're getting into the point where some of these teams, if they lose, will be better off in the NFL draft from college football in the spring. And certainly, when you're looking at the Raiders with Garoppolo, and the others that they have there as quarterback, I understand that after this weekend's game of a loss, the Raiders actually went up to number 6 in the first round of the draft coming up, and that could be important to pick off a real good college football quarterback. And now we're wondering, will they have the generated effort they would if they were going for a playoff berth as they will going for a draft pick?
Well, that's a great point, Ralph, but I think you have to understand the fact that not everybody is tanking. The players don't tank because they're playing for their professional careers. the coaches and the assistant coaches don't tank, because they too are playing for their careers. And in the case of the Raiders, Antonio Pierce very much wants to be full-time Raiders coach, not interim. And last week really hurt his chances, losing 3-0 to the Vikings. I mean, that was embarrassing. And if Pierce loses again this week to an undermanned Chargers team, his chances of getting the head coaching job of the Raiders from Mark Davis probably goes out the window. So you've got a head coach and assistant coaches who are going to be really motivated to try to win tonight.
So those are the incentives that we're going to be banking on tonight for the Raiders. Of course, our fans. I mean, we want to see our team win no matter what. And it'll be certainly a contest of interest. That's for sure. I'll put it that way. But you're going to take our home team Raiders and lay the small points and hope they can generate at least 3 points more than the other team.
Yeah, 3-0 was an unbelievable game. I'm glad I didn't watch the game, Ralph, and I didn't even look up the highlights, because how many highlights are there in a 3-0 football game?
One. It's off a kicker's foot. That's it. Hey, thanks a lot, Richie. Appreciate that. Well, of course, you'll be back tomorrow with your selection at Los Alamitos when Los Alamitos goes for its final weekend of racing. Thanks, Richie.
Hey, thanks, Ralph. Good luck, everybody.
All right, when we come up next, we got our closing act, John and Jerry. John Lindo coming up first. Don't go away. We're back right after this quick break.
Horse racing fans, Los Alamitos Racecourse continues its celebration of 10 years of daytime thoroughbred racing with an action-packed winter session of racing in beautiful Orange County. Racing will be held Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays through December 17th. First post will be 12:30 p.m. Pacific. Plenty of stakes action is in store this season, led by the running of the Los Alamitos Futurity on Saturday with points on the line for next year's Kentucky Derby, plus the King Glorious on closing day, Sunday, December 17th. And horse players, our live money on-track handicapping contest is back on Saturday. You could win a berth to the 2024 NHC in Las Vegas. For contest format and more, visit losalamitos.com. And remember that on Saturdays during our winter meet, we'll add $10,000 to the Pick Six pool if there's not a carryover. That's more money for our Pick Six players to win on Saturday afternoons. Daytime racing is back at Los Alamitos. And remember, now with $10,000 added to the Pick Six pool on Saturdays if there's not a carryover. Don't miss the Los Alamitos Winter Thoroughbred Meet.
Want to bet your favorite horse but can't make it to the racebook? South Point Casino's Racebook has the answer. Come in and sign up for the Nevada Racebook mobile app. For just a $50 minimum deposit, you'll have the racebook right at your fingertips, no matter where you are in Nevada. It's convenient, fun, and easy to use. When you do have time to visit, South Point Casino is the perfect place to be. Our racebook is completely separate from the sportsbook and totally dedicated to the horse player. With 52 overhead TVs, free Wi-Fi, and cocktail service. Bring your tablet or smartphone and plug into the USB ports to look up your favorite handicapping website without draining your battery. Want to wager from your seat? No problem with our IPTs. Just sign up, make a deposit, and you're off to the races. Plus, you'll earn points for dining, hotel, movies, entertainment, and the spa just by using the club card when wagering. Whether you want to come in or play from the comfort of your home, South Point Casino's Racebook has you covered.
The Race Day Las Vegas Show, the only exclusive daily local media racing information source in Las Vegas.
Alrighty, back on Race Day Las Vegas to wrap up this final two segments of our show when we bring in our handicappers, John Lindo and Jerry J. Of course, John Lindo of the Lindo Report that you can get here at the South Point Racebook every Southern California racing day. And by the way, today as well, because he has a Gulfstream sheet out there for you today. It's a comprehensive handicapping sheet. It covers all the races selections and, of course, a suggested late pick 4 that he hits a lot of times. That's for sure. Packed a couple of days ago at Los Al. And, of course, some interesting information at the bottom of the sheet that usually we highlight on the show as well. The comprehensive sheet, John Lindo's Lindo Report, today for Gulfstream, and of course for the rest of the weekend at Los Alamitos in Southern California, available here at the South Point Racebook, only place in Las Vegas you can get it. It is free of charge, complimentary to you, because they love horse players here. It's really that simple. John Lindo, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, my man. You know, we're looking at the Gulfstream today, I know, But we're looking at Los Alamitos this weekend. And, of course, when you get to Los Alamitos in the wintertime in the final weekend, you're always going to get the Los Alamitos Futurity. But it's really named badly because it should be the Bob Baffert Futurity because this guy's going for, am I correct? He's going for his 14th Los Al Futurity?
Yeah, when you combine Hollywood Park, 14th, and Los Alamitos, this would be his 8th. He's going for his 8th win in the Futurity out of 10 tries. So this is the Bob Baffert Invitational, and looking at the overnight, there's 6 horses in the race, goes as the 9th race on Saturday, and Bob's got 3.
I know that. Yes, this Los Alamitos Futurity, renamed, of course, after they absorbed the Hollywood Park meet days at this time of the year. They used to have the Hollywood Futurity at Hollywood Park, and that carried over to his 14th try this time with the Los Al Futurity. But he's won this thing an enormous amount of time too, and it seems like he's always got the deck stacked. I mean, he's got half the field, and of course, real quick from the rail out, Moonlit Sonata, Tim Yakteen training there and the rider will be Giovanni Franco. Number 2 is Winstock, one of the 3 Baffert horses. Kyle Frey will ride there. The 3 is Stronghold. Antonio Fresu for Phil D'Amato. Now, this is not a grass race, but Phil D'Amato is certainly a capable trainer for all types of horses. The 4 is Ace of Clubs. Edwin Maldonado riding for Doug O'Neill. 5 is Coach Prime. Flavian Pratt for Bob Baffert. And the 6 is Wind Me Up. Juan Hernandez riding for Bob Baffert. Now, Hernandez, John, we are assuming that he's Bob Baffert's number 1 rider in a series of very talented and capable riders that he has in his stable to ride his horses. So would that make us tend to believe that that's the best of the 3 Baffert horses?
Well, Wind Me Up ran well, in the the front runner, is it the prep for the Breeders' Cup, and came in the Breeders' Cup, didn't run his race, didn't make the lead, but he's been in the best races, so he is probably the most experienced and the one to beat in there. But an interesting horse in there, Ralph, is Winstock. This horse is owned in part by Ed Allred, who owns Los Alamitos. So this is a house horse, and he really improved when he stretched out around 2 turns. He's drawn inside his stablemates, and he might make the lead in there, and we'll see how far he runs. Kyle Frey rides him, and Coach Prime, I thought, really improved last time when he stretched out. So these are horses that are just getting their legs under them as the distances increase, and that's why they're in the Futurity. It's a mile and the 16th. We'll get a better read on how these 2-year-olds will do going into their 3-year-old year.
Well, that's this weekend, but right now for today, we've got Gulfstream Park running their championship meet underway. John, you have a Linda report for Gulfstream. Let's see the early returns. Tell us the early returns on the jockey trainer standings there.
Well, your early leader in the jockey standings is Paco Lopez. He's got 12 wins down there. Edgar Zayas is second with 7. Arad Ortiz went down and set up shop in Florida last week. He immediately got 6 wins, so he's tied for 3rd with Miguel Vasquez. But at that rate, look for Irad to shoot right up to the top of the standings in a very short period of time. As far as the trainers go, Safi Joseph, your perennial leader down there, he's got 6 wins at Gulfstream. And you've got Brian Lynch, Riley Mott, David Carlos, and Ralph Nix. They've all got 3. Early part of the meet, but you see a lot of the familiar names moving up the ladder.
And, of course, Mott, that's Belmont's son, right?
Yes, it is, yes. And he's got an active stable down there.
And, of course, Brian Lynch, right? I remember when he was in Southern California. He's got a stable out there now.
Yeah, he's been based in the Midwest for the most part, but he goes down to Florida for the winter, and he's a good guy. He's a funny guy.
Yeah, he is. He's a fun guy. All right, give me the stat on those filthy favorites.
Favorites are right around the norm, 36% for the meet, Ralph. So no complaints there.
All right, my man. Taking a look at Gulfstream before we get your pick, I want to just to ask you on the normal handicapping standards, the normal handicapping tools that we use. Anything that we should know about Gulfstream that is different as far as handicapping, speed, come from behinders, etc.?
As far as all the surfaces go on the main track, the speed is always important on any kind of dirt surface. So you look to the speed first there. The Tapeta, I think you want a horse ridden like a turf horse. You want to try and get them covered up, but you want to get them in the clear. It's a momentum thing. You don't want to get them stopped on the far turn when they're trying to make their moves. You've got to make a prolonged run and build up that speed. So look for a trip is so important on the Tapeta. And on the grass, it started out to be a pretty speed-favoring turf course. It's kind of leveling out now that they've had a few races on it. I'd call the turf course very fair.
All right. Well, I'm going to ask you what most of the folks here at the South Point Racebook ask you when you're in town and play in the book. Give me a horse.
Okay. Off the turf today at Gulfstream, a lot of rain down there. So just the main track and the Tapeta. And race number 5 will end up on the Tapeta, and that's fine with me for number 10, Palace Flirt, who made his career debut on the Tapeta surface. Ran really well to be beaten a length after getting hung wide every step of the way. I think he'll improve with a race under his belt. He's proven on the surface, and he's got tactical speed. You got to get a good stalking trip in here. 5-1 on the program, probably a little bit less depending on scratches. Number 10, Palace Flirt, race number 5, Gulfstream Park.
All right. That fifth race was scheduled for the turf course, now on the main track. And John says bet the 10 Palace Flirt, the 10 Palace Flirt with Edgar Zayas aboard. John Lindo's pick for the race day listeners. Don't forget, he's got the rest right here at the Lindo Report, exclusively here at the South Point Racebook. And as far as the other turf races, Gulfstream's second race off the turf, and the 8th race will also be off the turf. Hey, thanks a lot, John.
Yeah,
Okay, thanks a lot, John. We will talk to you tomorrow.
All right, good luck, Ralph.
All right, you got it, my man. We will take our final break, and when we come back, hopefully, we'll be with Jerry Jackowitz. So don't go away. We'll be returning soon.
Horse racing fans, Los Alamitos Racecourse continues its celebration of 10 years of daytime thoroughbred racing with an action-packed winter session of racing in beautiful Orange County. Racing will be held Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays through December 17th. First post will be 12:30 p.m. Pacific. Plenty of stakes action is in store this season, led by the running of the Los Alamitos Futurity on Saturday with points on the line for next year's Kentucky Derby, plus the King Glorious on closing day, Sunday, December 17th. And horse players, our live money on-track handicapping contest is back on Saturday. You could win a berth to the 2024 NHC in Las Vegas. For contest format and more, visit losalamitos.com. And remember that on Saturdays during our winter meet, we'll add $10,000 to the Pick Six pool if there's not a carryover. That's more money for our Pick Six players to win on Saturday afternoons. Daytime racing is back at Los Alamitos. And remember, now with $10,000 added to the Pick Six pool on Saturdays if there's not a carryover. Don't miss the Los Alamitos Winter Thoroughbred Meet.
Want to bet your favorite horse but can't make it to the racebook? South Point Casino's Racebook has the answer. Come in and sign up for the Nevada Racebook mobile app. For just a $50 minimum deposit, you'll have the Racebook right at your fingertips, no matter where you are in Nevada. It's convenient, fun, and easy to use. When you do have time to visit, South Point Casino is the perfect place to be. Our Racebook is completely separate from the sportsbook and totally dedicated to the horse player. With 52 overhead TVs, free Wi-Fi, and cocktail service. Bring your tablet or smartphone and plug into the USB ports to look up your favorite handicapping website without draining your battery. Want to wager from your seat? No problem with our IPTs. Just sign up, make a deposit, and you're off to the races. Plus, you'll earn points for dining, hotel, movies, entertainment, and the spa just by using the club card when wagering. Whether you want to come in or play from the comfort of your home, South Point Casino's Racebook has you covered.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas. We're going to go right out to Jerry Jackowitz standing by now. Jerry, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph.
All right, I want to quickly tell everybody a little bit about your background and how you got to doing Jerry J's Power Pages.
Well, I started out at Aqueduct pretty much. That was my home track. I was a regular old handicapper, looking at the racing form and so forth. And then in the late 80s, I started to look for something a little more substantial than just the racing form for building my ideas on handicapping. I tried many of the speed figures, Thoroughgraph, Ragozin, and so forth. And ultimately, I decided that I needed to make my own speed figures, which I ended up doing starting in 1989 and sort of finished the project in 1992 with a fellow named Kerry Photius. So Photius and I sort of built my speed figures together. I did all the programming, and Kerry did a lot of the work with me. Anyway, and from there on, I've just been dedicated to my speed figures and my handicapping ideas, which have remained very good over the course of what was really a 45-year career. And been producing the Power Pages now for 28 years. We started producing them in 1997. So here in Las Vegas and around the country through our website.
Okay.
The idea behind the Power Page was to give handicappers a better sense of what the relative speed capability of each horse is. When I say speed, I'm talking final speed. We also want to know about early speed. That's very important. We make notations of that on the Power Page. But by doing this process and doing it in every single race in the same fashion, you end up with a very solid overall analysis that takes you from race to race, from day to day, and helps you find the overlays that you need to find, and really does the fine-tuned separation that sometimes horse players are. Is it this horse or is it that horse? What makes one horse a better play than another? And the Power Page is, to me, the absolute best. I'm glad that I make it, but the best device I found for that, because it not only shows you one horse to the other, but it kind of shows you the differences between them. And, when you look at the odds board, you say this horse is 5-1 and this horse is 5-2, and the two horses are fairly closely related on the Power Page. It's easier for you to go to the 5-1 shot, even if you don't like them quite as much as the 5-2. And it makes a big difference in the outcome of your bankroll.
Now, Jerry, you have on your Power Page, you have a small area. It's like a legend where you explain the different symbols on there. You have pop-out keys, V plays, which are value plays. You got star horses, which are horses that should gain more attention, etc. And so it's a full complement of how people can understand all the symbols on there as well. We can't go into all of those because we're pressed for time, but I can tell you this. It is a comprehensive sheet, Jerry J's Power Page. Go to jerryjspowerpage.com. Today, he has a Power Page he created for Aqueduct, and maybe we can get some picks out of you.
But before we do that, I want to just say one more thing. Right. My handicap, the hallmark of my handicapping is trying to find forward-going horses that are on the improve. And that's what I try and use my speed figures for. That's what I try to express through the speed numbers. And, of course, I use my star horses as the best way of describing horses I think are forward-going and the horses that are probably the best plays in the race if the odds are right.
All right, Jerry, let's get some winners here, buddy.
Let's go to the second race. I'll give you two plays today, Ralph, as I do on Thursdays. We'll go to the second race for our first play. Beautiful Karen kind of worked on me overnight. I really like the way this horse comes into the race off a little layoff. So that's the 7 horse in race number 2. I'm going to play the 7 over the 1, 2, 4, 5, do reverses, but the 7, that is going to be a pop-out key today in race number 2.
All right, the second race at Aqueduct, number 7, Beautiful Karen, 7-2 on the morning line is your play, your key play, the 7. You're going to link it up with 1, 2, 4, 5. When we say link ups, we mean if you want to put it in exactas, trifectas, even superfectas. The 7 is the key.
Correct.
Over 1, 2, 4, 5. But he always says reverse, folks, and for the reason is you could be almost right, just a little bit wrong, but still cash, because if the horse runs second to the link-ups, that's the reverse play. And a lot of times the link-ups will pay a whole bunch more, and you'll get a much better payoff doing it that way. So that's why he says link-ups. So the 7 over 1, 2, 4, 5, and reverse. Give me one more play.
Yeah, we'll go to the fourth race. And I'd like to say one thing about that, Ralph, is sometime we should discuss betting and how important it is to get good value out of the place pool when you're betting.
Okay.
Let's go. And that's what this strategy is for. The fourth race, we're going to go to IC Reply, the 4 horse. This is the feature play on the Power Page Plus today. And ultra consistent filly, just runs hard every time, loves Aqueduct.
Uh-huh.
I'll take the 4 over the 2, 5, 7. Again, do my reverses, 2, 5, 7 back over the 4. But the 4, that's my featured play and pop-out key in race number 4.
All right, fourth race, the 4 over 2, 5, 7 in reverse, $2 ROI on the 4. And between you and Jonathan Hardoon, we got 3 pieces in the early pick 5. In the second race, you like the 7. Jonathan likes the 1 in the third race, and you come back in the fourth race with the 4. So maybe we can put a nice little pick 5 play together. All right, that wraps up this almost Friday, Thursday, Race Day Las Vegas radio program. One more thing to say, and you know Jerry's going to say it.
Have a great race day, everybody.